Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Creative Redundancy back again. The one known as CR, like it says on your screen. Echo, 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 echo. Let me just put that at the side here. And welcome back. Hopefully, everyone's doing well. And welcome to one of my, I guess it's an afternoon. Well, afternoon in North America. Anyways, live stream. Hopefully, everyone's doing well. Hopefully the weather's cooperating with some of you folks out there. And all that good stuff. If you've been getting a lot of rain, hopefully you're gonna get some sun again. If you've been getting a lot of sun, hopefully you'll get some rain again. Hopefully you'll get that balance back in, well, wherever you are right now. What's up, Oops? I see you in there. Let me just highlight that. See? Highlight that on the screen here. Hopefully you're doing well. It's mostly sunny. I mean, there is definitely clouds. Let me show you one of them pointed to the sky here. Yeah, see, that's the cloud cover I'm getting right now. That is what I'm seeing. Oops, you gotta keep going, right? You gotta keep going every day. And a little bit of coffee helps. That's for sure. I was actually out earlier today, but before I get into that story here, and amongst the other things, first and foremost, because I want to say this straight up, is that down south in Texas, first of the people down there. I know I have a few subscribers, followers down there. Second Star. Hopefully you're doing well, man. So if anyone's can reach out to Second Star Survival, yeah. Because I know he's within range of this area. I don't know if he was directly affected, but yeah. First to some of those people. Which will tie into some of the things I'm talking about for this stream anyways. I did catch up on some of that, the details behind all that stuff and all that stuff. Some people's accounts of the situation, right? And all that stuff. Because unfortunately, let's take a chair here. Some people didn't make it, so yeah, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind as you go out for your day, how special today is. Because you got another day to do something, another day to enjoy with your friends and family. Well, I got another day to live stream, but, you know. And of course, another day to prepare too. And enjoy life as well. Yeah, they're just, crows are just around. You can't quite see them, but I know they're around. I know they're around here somewhere, and all that stuff. So, yeah, I watched a couple of the videos down in Texas. That counts with that. I know some people are doing their own videos, live streams with premieres of all that stuff, but you know, most of them live in the U.S. or within that area. But you know, I'm just some Canadian dude up north talking about it, right? You know, I mean, I live on a higher plateau, so sort of like flooding would be very localized, minimal at most, but there's reasons to prepare than just that. At least for me, anyways. So, all I know is I'm gonna keep improving my situation here the best that I can with the resources that I have, the funds available, amongst some other things. You know, and all that good stuff. I guess I could show some of this. Send you out right now. which also includes this. See, that's not an image. That's really my hand. Thumbs up. Yeah. Alright. Because that needs water. Like, not officially right now, but just saying, right? It's like, we need water. So do the plants. And I've been lucky. Well, if anyone didn't catch my last live stream where I showed a little bit of it, I did gather up some rainwater once again. Not only gathering it up and using it for gardening purposes, but I'm using it for our purposes too. So I've been finding there are reasons and our areas that I can put the water, the rainwater in this case, to good use. So I've been able to, that night that I showed it, well, you heard it and all that stuff about the rain, I managed to gather some of it up and all that's good stuff. So like I said in this other video, drop by drop, inch by inch, millimeter by millimeter, right? It does slowly add up. And unfortunately for people down south, like in Texas, I forget that specific region name, or a county, but that added up very fast for some people at times, with lots of runoff and amongst them are torrent, for a lack of a better word, and all that stuff. So, I'm lucky up here, I've been able to get, nice balance the last several weeks, actually. Because, and lucky enough to actually, after it's rained that day, when I did that last live stream, which was a nighttime live stream. Spit the words out here. I got sun later the next day on that afternoon. I mean, where it looked exactly like it did, like what I'm seeing right now. Yeah, it's not clear out, but it's mix of sun clouds, mostly sunny, I guess. I mean, it's bright enough for, solar lights, solar panels, solar ignition, that's for sure. Where you could see, a hard shadow along the ground that you cast, or objects like a fence or whatever cast, and all that stuff, So when you want to be wearing shades or a hat or a wide brim hat if you're gardening or anything like that, right? All that good stuff. I mean, I got solar lights literally just charging on the side, just gathering up and soaking up some rays, literally and figuratively, and, well, metaphorically, but literally, soaking up some rays, converting it into some solar energy into some, I guess, chemical energy in a battery or something like that, and just letting them go. Hello, Howie, I see you in there. Hopefully you're doing well. Good afternoon. Yeah, I was saying earlier that, I got some more rainwater again, Howie. A little bit more again. So, I've been lucky around here, at least this time around. I was actually talking to someone earlier. I don't have any pictures because I was just doing it, right? I didn't, but hey, Howie, I was helping someone set up a compost bin. Yeah. That was kind of fun. A DIY, do-it-yourself version of one, alright? It was kind of fun. And I shared a couple stories with them. I've been talking to them. Obviously, they're a gardener, right? They've got a compost bin, generally speaking, right? I guess that would have been obvious, but yeah. It was kind of fun. So some of their plants that they have, their tomatoes among some other things, and just sharing some stories with them, just like how I'm sharing stories here. That's why the description says things going around. or I'm sharing things that are going around, and some other things, right? And tying this all together. I mean, I can get some paracord to tie it all together, but I'm literally tie it together, but figuratively, I am tying it all together. And connect it all together. Stuff like that. I was just talking to them. We had like a 5-minute discussion about rainwater. Or it seemed like it. We were just talking about it. I was just talking about it when I got here, and stuff like that. They gather rainwater too for their own uses and stuff like that. And like I said earlier, I've been gathering rainwater not just for the plants, but for some other reasons that you will, in time, see on the channel. I say in time because they're scheduled. They're scheduled. So yeah, that's a verbal sneak peek right there. You'll just have to wait however long. Originally I was gonna show one for this Friday, but I recorded another video and I've decided to put it up for this week. So at the moment there is a garden type of video. Oh, why am I whispering? And maybe I'll share a sneak peek right now since I'm live and all that good stuff. Yeah, exactly. Nice, Howie. Yeah. I don't know exactly the amount or the percentage, but there is some. Because obviously, if it's falling from the sky, it's interacting with, air, right? So, and I'm well aware that there's dissolved things in water, right? Such as gases in the environment. So something like nitrogen. Pretty sure there's some sort of amount, right? It's supposed to be like 78% by percentage or whatever, right? Out there, so pretty sure there's some amount in there of some sort for what it is. So yes, so I'm just sitting in the lounge here, more in the shade right now. I should go get a coffee. But yeah, as I let some of my solar lights charge here, I'm actually charging up some AAA batteries here. Right before I started the stream, I just popped them into the battery compartment. Let them charge. I was like, since I'm getting some fairly good solar, sunshine right now, like actual bright sunshine, like I can see the shadow kind of deal, yeah. It was a good time to take advantage of it, to top off some more. Because actually, the last live stream I did, I had one of my flashlights with me and the battery ran out, right? Actually, that's the battery I'm charging right now. Try to get some power back into that so I can, use it again, right? No point in having a rechargeable battery that's not charged. That defeats the purpose, right? And especially if I got some sunshine or whatever, right? It's kind of more, I guess, not independent, but, I guess for lack of a better word, independent, And I just got to chill in the shade, a nice cool shade, with some coffee, which I have on the sign I have to go get. Well, solar panels convert that solar energy into some power for that battery, that AAA. Well, 2 anyways. Hopefully, I tried to get that. I think the battery was at 0.8, 0.9 volts. So I'll try to get it back into that higher, 1.2 volt range or so. It'll take a little bit of time, obviously. It's not done instantly. Oh, it's done in 5 minutes. No. At least not with solar anyway, so let that charge up. But yeah, I'm gonna receive some nice bright sunny skies for a bit anyways. I think it's supposed to be like this for most of the week. The temperature might increase slightly, into that 80 Fahrenheit range, 27, 28 Celsius range, but at least there'll be some sun And since it just rained like the other day, you know, the ground has some moisture in the ground. You know, it's not just bone dry. Because if it was bone dry, you know, if we start getting random rain, then it would want to run off more than soak into the ground. I mean, obviously it's different here compared to like down south in like Texas or other places in the world, but you know, so yeah. Okay. Noted. Yeah. I'm just, like I said, it's nice and sunny today. So I'm gonna enjoy some of the time I got. Oh, you know, I was looking for my coffee and like it was sitting behind me in my chair the whole time. It's half done, but at least I can enjoy some of it for now. It's a little cool, but whatever, it'll be fine. But yeah. Hey, look! I know how I know. Let's see. Where's my camera? Turn this on. See? Look. I know how he knows what these are. Yeah. I know how he knows what this is. I know he knows what that is. I'm letting it keep going here. Why not? It's exactly how the pictures show it. And I get to see a whole life cycle of it. Understand it from seed, the sprout, the mature state, to flowering stage, to, well, hey look, there's more seeds again, yay! Kind of stage. I'm just sitting in the shade, making sure my device doesn't overheat, among some other things. Yep, exactly. He knows. He knows exactly what that was. Straight up. So yeah. But yeah, I've been mentioning this, but you know, I got some videos. That might be an understatement on the video part, but I got some videos up on the channel right now. They're scheduled right now, alright? So you can't see them right now because they're scheduled, right? For the next couple. That's probably an understatement. A couple more weeks, couple more Fridays. 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on a Friday. It's kind of my go-to time period, day of the week for videos now. Unless otherwise, like I said in a previous stream, or in a previous stream, or in previous stream that I've said that. So usually it will be scheduled for that time. So 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on a Friday. So, like, set your clocks to it or whatever, right? Or chime back in after you do just some gardening or whatever. Go for your walk or whatever and chime back in. All right. You might find something interesting for what they are. But yeah, next couple of videos, there is some, how do I say, a common thread in most of these videos. Because half of my scheduled videos, at the time of this recording / replay / live stream, half of my videos have one common thing. At least one common thing. Because actually sometimes, some of these videos I was like uploading like and scheduling two in advance. You know, the other day, like literally after the live stream I previously did, and obviously before this one, I realized I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to like render up this video and upload it to, well, obviously YouTube, this platform, right? And I was just like, oh yeah, because I was just deleting some stuff off the device, you know, things I didn't need anymore, right? Or I already shown them, or they're already scheduled videos are very public, right? You know, or whatever. I don't need the footage anymore, right? I was just like, oh yeah, I was supposed to do that. I was like really glad I didn't delete the project file or the working file. So I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't do that yet. I'm glad I checked that. I'm like, oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. I was supposed to do it the next day, and I just kind of slipped my mind, and I ended up doing some error videos, and I was like, oh yeah, because I was looking on the channel. I'm like, I thought I uploaded it. I'm like, wait a second, I didn't even upload it. Then I had to go check back. I'm like, oh, so good thing I was checking and making sure and not assuming that. Because I was trying to upload another video, right? I'm like, oh wait, I was supposed to upload this second another video. Where's it? I'm like, oh yeah, it's because I didn't upload it yet. I mean, yeah, now it's on. Now will be available. It's scheduled right now. A couple more weeks. I don't know if I have it scheduled for this month, but these two videos are gonna be within the next like 4 weeks. At least one of them is. I think one of them's post dated or scheduled for next month right now. At the moment. However, currently this Friday's video is literally a video that I just shot the other day. So, because I decided I wanted to post that sooner, anyways, and change out the variable what I'm showing on the channel and stuff like that. Hello, GP. I see you, GP. GP. Yeah. Now, GP. Now, this guy was here on the last live stream. Like, literally, this guy was, like, encouraging me on the last live stream. You know, he was presenting his... He made a legendary appearance, you know. Kept my spirits up. Literally. Nah, never mind, I'm not even gonna say it, GB. I was gonna say it, but never mind. Forget what I said. But yeah. Like I said, I'm just chilling in the shade. Sun's gone. Cloud has covered the sun. It's not a really big cloud. It's not like a storm cloud. It's just a white fluffy cloud, but it's thick enough. And I don't see shadows on the ground. But yeah. Amongst my things. Whew. I guess I'll take time to take a look at a few things here. See? Some more random plants as soon as I show it. See? More random plants. I got it. And these are just containers. See? Some more right here. The sun's so bright I can't see my display. Am I trying to aim at the right direction? I'm just like, I was using my hand as an indicator so I can actually see where I'm pointing at. That's why I took the time to show that real quick when the sun was behind the clouds. Because it's easier to see my display without turning it up all the way. I forget the name, GP. I don't know it in English, so I'll have to ask someone else that knows it. But yeah, you know, it's just in a container, probably in like a half a gallon, a 2 gallon or so container, 1 2 gallon, and you know, stuff like that. It's been growing quite nicely. I'll probably have to give it some water later on also. Since it's in the container, containers dry out faster because they have less volume. So obviously I gotta water the container stuff. I have planted it a little bit more frequently compared to like in bed or in ground. It has more surface area, more volume to hold more water, so and stuff like that. I mean, I'm actually growing some other things. I just have them sitting on a bench right now. They're just, I can actually see them. I'm actually surprised how well they're doing. I've been trying out some of that container gardening, right? It's mobile food, as how we would say, or and such, right? So I'm able to move them around, but honestly, because they're in smaller containers compared to the ground or in or a bed, garden bed, I gotta water them more frequently. Because the soil in them dries out faster. Less volume of water I can put in initially, anyways, right? So it don't matter if it's in a cup or in a vase or anything like that. Eventually, you have to water it more frequently compared to like a garden bed that's like 3 by 3 foot and like, let's just say 2 feet off the ground, right? Clearly, a bed like that can hold a lot more moisture in comparison. Yeah, mobile sunburn. Yeah, flexibility. I mean, yeah, there's that trade-off, like I said about the watering, but providing you can stay on top of that, or drip irrigation, or anything along, or quote unquote, someone is there to water it for you, and then you're good, right? Or maybe Mother Nature will provide some random rain. That could happen too. Which is funny because, speak of which, Mother Nature has offered me a lot more videos in the last several weeks. Let's just say 6 weeks. Because I gotta wait for these plants to grow to show you guys. There's nothing to show. There's nothing to show until like they're just green with a stalk and some leaves. I gotta wait for the fruits of my labor show up to show them, but I can't speed that up in real time. Speed the real time up, right? Like in virtual, like I could in a virtual environment, or in a video where I speed up, right, fast forward, right, 2x or 4x. I gotta wait for that. So since I gotta wait for that stuff still, I figured I'll shoot some of this air video content, upload it on the channel, So if the plans don't pan out, or if I don't get to a video or to shoot a video of that, at least I got some content for now. So, but I'm assuming I will have some, but I have to wait for it. So I'm working this schedule in. like right now, no word of why I said this the last live stream. I have a video on the channel right now that I was originally supposed to show back in May. I delayed it till June, delayed it till July, delayed it till August. Now it's delayed to like October, because I have this air stuff I have to show first for the summer season. And like, no word of a lie, like, it's technically I showed some people some sneak peeks of it. It's a video I shot back in like December 2024. I've just been waiting to show it. It's because everything else has priority, because it's a seasonal thing or whatever, like say spring, summertime. I'm like, I need to show that first though, right? Because our video is not seasonally dependent, and I'm inside doing it, so you can't tell the time of year anyways, unless I tell you, which I just did right now. When you see that video, you'll be like, you'll notice it's slightly different from what you saw earlier in the year in terms of overall content or how I'm editing it. It's just like, yeah, because that was like 6 months ago. Right. So some variation there. Yeah, I mean, as long as there's some warmth, heat in this case, I guess, right? Yeah. And obviously the water itself, right? And some sort of energy source inward, right? Could be solar, garden lights, grow lights, I should say specifically, but obviously, utilize what Mother Nature offers. Sunshine, which is coming back around because the cloud is moving away again. And I can see this. I can see it's sunny on the ground again. Bright enough for obviously solar power. As I, of course, as I say it, the cloud rolls back over again. But yeah, it is bright enough. It's definitely bright enough. It's definitely bright enough here. I'm gonna show you guys something. You guys see what? Wait. Look. Ooh. Wait. It's my finger. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Sierra's leaking out some puns and some things again. I can't stop it. But, you know, it's because, you know, I got GP and Hallie here. They're sprouting my interest so much that I couldn't help but leak that footage out. Someone would so fire me for saying that. I know he would. He would. But yeah. But like I said, I got some solar lights charging right now. Just checking on some air plants I have. I just put some water in them, so they're doing quite well, actually. You know, I do have this story I guess I'll share. I don't have any pictures of it, because I decided not to, but whatever. In reality, anyways. I was transplanting something, right? And it did. I think there was some transplant shock, right? Like, literally the plant was, like, on its side, alright? You know? A lot of people might have given up on a plant like that, right? They're like, oh, it's gone, right? I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll give it one more shot, right? So I took a stick, used it as a brace, quote unquote, like a crutch, right? And, you know, it started to spring back, and now it's nice and straight, the stalk on it. It's got leaves on it, and it's growing bigger and bigger. So I'm kind of glad I didn't give up on that one. Originally, I was gonna pull that plant out and, like, you know, find something else in that container, right? But then, like, I'll give it a try, right? So glad I didn't give up on that one. Right, to keep that one going, and obviously it's sprouting into something a little bit bigger, and maybe I'll have a flower later in the season for me to show, hopefully. So sometimes, you know, when possible, you know, trying to give it some time. It might rebound back, you know. But, I mean, if you're doing what you can, you know, you're supporting it, giving it a hand, tying it off, using a stick or whatever, and still doesn't bounce back. But, yeah, you know, maybe give up then. But at least try, you know, use a stick and support it for a little bit and see if it'll rebound back, right? Sometimes it just takes that little bit of time to adjust to it, right? You know. Because I'm pretty sure that it had transplant shock. Well, actually, I know it did, because I took it from a more shady area into a more sunny area in terms of the length of sunlight that I was receiving. So, yeah, I was just like, yeah, you know, and I put it in the shade for a little bit and trying to kind of help it along. But once it was starting to get more established again, I didn't even need that stick anymore, and now I don't even use that stick anymore. This little Y stick that I put in there to support the stalk on it, right, the stem on it, because I was like I was seeing new growth in terms of leaves, right? And I'm like, well, it's new growth, it's not gone yet, right? I mean, it would have been different if it was dried out, brown, wilting away, you know. I'd be like, okay, those indicators or whatever, right? But I was getting indications of, like, I'm not done yet, CR. I just need a crutch for a little bit. I just need a little helping hand. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll give it some time. You know. So keep that in mind. Hello, Verna. How are you doing, Verna? Yeah, you're probably right, GP. Yeah, you so know that's not happen. Oh, cool. Nice, Verna, nice. So, yeah, Like I said, I'm just chilling in the shade. Like, it's mid-afternoon. You know, I don't need to stand in the sun unnecessarily. What's up, Joseph? Some more people are dropping by here. Pun intended. I always gotta say that for that guy all the time. I always have to make some more comments like that. You know, much more. So much more that I might as well add an extra O into more. You know, I used to know someone with the same last name as you. I haven't seen them for a while. I mean, I won't mention the first name, but you know, learned quite a bit from that person too. I haven't seen them for a while. Hopefully they're doing well. I haven't spoken to them for a while, but long time ago. Long time ago. Hopefully they're doing well. Shared some moments, memories with them, and too, among some other things. Actually, even just shared a road trip with them. Technically, that's different. So, still remember that too. Always gotta remember those good times too, to keep you going, motivate you to keep going. Just like I'll probably remember this stream because, you know, I had a bunch of people drop by, and you know, GP said he didn't want to be the #1 chatter. You know, Verna said a bunch of cool stuff with CR in it, and you know how he came by, and I had someone came by that added some more comments. Yeah, you know. More the better. Oh, more the better. Oh, that's bad. I know. So yeah. Oh, can't reach my coffee on this chair. I have to lean back. Oh, now I have to stand up. Put the coffee in the cup holder in my chair. Like, literally, I'm just sitting in this chair. And you're just relaxing. Hopefully the recovery will speed up. Hopefully the pain will subside more and more and more. I might as well, at this rate, I might as well just name this stream as More Time with CR. And just add that extra O in there. People will be like, why is he naming out like that? Well, if you watch the stream, you would know. Some DK Dave Knight. No, I'm not. I am at home, sitting in a lawn chair in the shade with a mix of sun and cloud today, apparently, which is nice. And since the sun's gone behind the clouds once again, I can come back outside, more or less. Not burn up trying to be out here the whole freaking time. Holy, I just saw like a dozen of those small little birds that you see at times just split. I would have showed you, but it was so quick I can't even show you. I can't even turn on the camera or point to it that fast. It'd be such a blur, you'd be like, hey Siri, what was that? It'd be that fast, that kind of thing, right? Just checking up on a few things. I've left some water out for some of the smaller birds, so as such, you know, the flies, the bees, and all that stuff. A little bit of that kind of stuff out for them, so that way they don't have to peck at something else to try to get some liquid water, right, or whatever. I get something over here that I have to deal with. $104. It's still hot. It's still pretty warm out these days. It's been quite relatively seasonal out west here, at least for my area right now. Seasonal. I mean, I've gotten a nice balance of sun and cloud and rain. Like today, a mix of sun and cloud. You know, and not only get, you know, 100% solar energy coming in, but I also get some shade to stand outside. No chance. I don't think there's a chance of rain today, but I did have rain the other day, so I managed to gather in some more rainwater here. I mean, as I tried to show this, remove the lid. Which first, I gotta remove the stuff off the lid first, which includes this water container. But yeah, let me just show you guys. I'd have to do something here. See? Woo! See? Splash, splash, splash! Just like, well, GP knows what I'm talking about if I say splash. See? Actually. Yeah, see, the sun's coming back out. I can cool off my forehead. Look at this. On the bright side, and as the sun comes back out, I cool off my forehead. Obviously, I wouldn't drink that directly, you know, but I can cool off my forehead with it. It's good enough for that, at least. As the sun comes back out behind the clouds again, I'm like literally timing everything to the sunshine right now. And so I'm trying to not like be out doing a bunch of stuff midday as much as possible. It's probably like 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius out, so I mean it's warm out. Don't get me wrong, right? But still doable. And it's not 40 like it is out east for like Dave. 104 Fahrenheit. Those triple digits, right? So, yes. Did I miss something in there? Okay. That's fine. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. And please. I'm trying to remember that song she used to always play. I'm trying to. Something with cats too. Ants, please. I'm trying to remember it. It's been a bit since I've heard it, but I'm trying to remember it right now. So. Oh, sun's going behind that cloud again. Let's sneak back out. Sneak back out and show a few things without it glaring in my face. In terms of like the screen. Let's see here. Yeah. Got some other things growing here too. Show you guys. And random people yelling in the distance. Hold on a sec. Okay, never mind. It's all good. I could hear it in the distance. I don't know if my mic picked it up, but I definitely heard it here for sure. So. But yeah. A few other little things that I'm growing here. The spring is glowing. I am watering with grow hose to conserve water. I watched it rain in a while, but I got sprinkled out. Yeah. And hopefully some of this rain I've been getting out west here will migrate out east for you, Dave. I know you got. You probably could use someone doing a rain dance. Or something like that. So, I feel blessed having a mix of sun and cloud today. Average type of temperatures for this time of year. Gotten some rainwater just the other day, which I more or less showed in a live stream, more or less. and you saw the water that I have. That container's full. Just have it covered right now. Actually, that container, I actually didn't fill that one up from the last rain. It was from the last rain that I got. I managed to, yeah, I'll probably cycle that in for use soon. I know, for the plants, amongst some other things I can use the rainwater for. As I'm using a little bit more of it. Understanding it, right? When you got water, you can do a lot with it in terms of not just gardening, other things too, right? Just like my herb video, right? Water, dun, 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 dun. Someone enjoyed me singing that song. But you gotta watch that video. Because I'm trying to remember the lyrics, because I just winged it, and I recorded that video back in like May. Or late April, May, around there. I posted it there, I believe. Not the last video, but the one, yeah, the one before it. I'm pretty sure it was the one before it. I don't think it was last. Was it last week? No, I don't think it was last week. I think it was the week before. So yeah. But things are sprouting really nice. Wow. Obviously things are sprouting nicely, but I've been able to get some other things going here amongst some other things. I almost, hell yeah, I almost feel like chewing on a green onion now. Randomly, again. I could, but maybe not right now. Maybe I'll have one today. Yeah, you know what? Hell yeah, I'll have one later. Not during this live stream, but I'll have one later. I'll cut one later and have one later. I'm still planning to do a video on this. I'm just thinking of an interesting way of presenting it. I think I have an idea. I'll just have to shoot it in a certain way. Maybe I'll shoot the video today. I'll load it later in the year, later this gardening season, this summer, whatever, right? I kind of remember not to record. I might actually have to tone down when I'm recording for the summer. At this rate, I'll have so many videos for the summer that, like, I'll still be showing them in, like, October. And that's probably not the way I want to approach it. So, I'll have to see. Perhaps there might be a random week where I post twice. Or have a, look guys, there's a bonus video today for this week kind of deal. I've done that this year at least twice, where I've had bonus videos for the week. So, but that's because I could spare them in, and they were seasonally dependent anyway. So, and I didn't want to wait to show them later in the year. I'm not gonna show winter stuff like now. All right. Stuff like that, and I didn't want to show it next year. So I'm like, okay, here's a bonus video for the week. I knew how he would say that. Just record it, CR. Just put the CR in record and just record it. Yeah. There's some other things growing. I've seen the pollinators around. I definitely have seen them around. And stuff like that. Well, the bees among some of the other pollinators. Although, I haven't noticed the wasp randomly around. I've seen them earlier in the year, but I haven't seen them recently. I've been seeing the bees, though. Flies and stuff like that. Little birds and stuff like that. Also, crows. Like someone said earlier. Okay. I check on some of the stuff that I have growing here. So, yeah. Yeah, so I'm quite blessed, fortunate right now, right? Getting a mix of sun, cloud, a little bit of heat, a little bit of warmth, a little bit of coolness, a little bit of rain. Sometimes it would be like rain in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon. Sunshine in the morning the next day, rain in the afternoon, right? So I'm getting a nice balance of it right now, which allows me to, well, grow some stuff here. Some plants that are like, waist height, people height kind of deal, right? Amongst some other things I'm growing here. That's only because, I'm getting both the sunshine and the rain, the water, liquid water for it, right? And also, the soil, the microbes, the fungi, and all that stuff. So I'll keep rooting for that. Why not? Okay, Dave. Okay, there. Okay, there. If we start doing that, I don't want to give everyone the cold shoulder, though, Dave. Come on. I don't want to. It would seem I don't want to be rude and give everyone the cold shoulder. It might be cool and all, but I don't want to give everyone the cold shoulder. That's not my intention on the channel, right? I'm trying to give everyone a nice warm summer welcome and not a cold winter, cold shoulder kind of welcome. Someone would so fire me for saying all that. But yeah, as I enjoy some of the sunshine today, hear the birds in the distance, and random power tools people are using, as usual, which is probably no surprise. I mean, it's not really hot outside, so people are able to do these tasks, right? Because I can imagine it was like 95 Fahrenheit, 35 Celsius or greater, people wouldn't want to do stuff as much, right? Because, you want to stay out of midday sun, out of the main source of heat, the main part of the heat of the day and stuff like that, right? So, being in it only being like 24 Celsius, 75 Fahrenheit, people are able to do tasks outside, whatever they're doing, right? Probably some sort of construction, fabrication, building, a bunch of saws and all that stuff. Something that would help, literally and figuratively would help. Those always sound better. They always look better when I write it instead of just saying it. But yeah. So yeah, it's nice. It's very nice. Perhaps I will show something else in a little bit here. I'm just waiting the sun to go behind the cloud again. I'm just waiting for the sun to go behind the cloud again. That way I can actually see my display and some other things. And I feel like I'm burning up out there. I mean, it's not like I'm wearing a t-shirt. Yes. So I'm just chilling in an enclosed space with some shade right now, just buying my time. I'll probably do some more stuff, don't get me wrong. I'll probably still do some stuff, but right now I'll just take a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a break, take care of some other things, and chill and do this live stream and keep it going. Check on some other stuff. And maybe as I do this live stream, think of an idea for another video topic or idea or concept or show and tell or did you know this or I'm not sure this. Did you know you can make this kind of thing or whatever? I got some other videos in the works. Among some other things, I actually have this booklet, paper anyways, scrappy paper. I've written ideas down earlier in the year, right? I only did like 3/4 of them at the most. Some of these other ideas were just like, I didn't even write it down. I just got inspired by, let's just say Mother Nature happened to drop a video down for me. Or at least something that I can use as a background while I'm talking about it. So, and I appreciate people that drop by on those videos. I appreciate that. where I'm seeing like the CTR, the click-through rate, as on a higher side at 4 or 5%, which I appreciate. And it's nice outside. And some dot dot dot. We just need another dot, and I could be like dot 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 dot. But yeah. KB! I see you in there, man. What's up, man? How's it going? Hopefully you're sipping on some water or something cool. It's pretty hot out east. Wow. From what I've been hearing and seeing amongst some reviews. Hold on. I feel like I'm about to sneeze here randomly. So, if I mute or whatever, that's a quick sec, you'll know. But, you know, another good thing about it being almost raining like almost once a week here, it's been keeping the pollen down. So, my allergies or random sneezing has kind of been, or runny nose or whatever. Yeah, it's been helping keep that pollen down in the air. And actually, the air quality and stuff, like, you know, it's been much better out west this year. Like, I know earlier in the year, back in May, we had some air quality issues, some haze in the sky. You know, the forest fires and stuff like that. So, this rain, cooler, I wouldn't say cooler, but more moderate, typical for this time of year, seasonal temperatures, right? Not so much of the extreme heats, you know, that triggered the extreme heat warnings, you know, where it's, you know, hot enough, right, to trigger it from Environment Canada and stuff like that. So, and the rains have been helping for more of the areas, right? You know, hopefully, you know. That's what I always say about this balance, right? You know, people, like, during the summertime, people want to be outside, right? Because it's nice, warm, relatively speaking, right? But if it's hazy, extremely hot out, yeah, the hardcore people will still go out, do their thing. Construction workers will still have to do their thing, work or whatever, right? But other times, people, in terms of gardening or whatever, right? You'll be up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock at night doing it instead, because you ain't doing any of that stuff when it's like 30. Well, you don't want to do it if it's like 35 Celsius, 95 Fahrenheit, or greater at that time. And that's not even including like some humidity or heat index value, right? Because that's the time it's like, right? Because you feel like as soon as you get back inside, you could like sit back, chug back some water, because you just feel like you just like sweated off like a liter or a quart of water, or it feels like it, right? So this is nice. Yeah, cool. Of course. Everyone saying hi to KP and vice versa back to all of them. They're still in my chat here, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, KP, hopefully you're doing well, too. Just like everyone else. Bruno. Wait. Because he just chimed in with a KP and a random dot. You know, I've been using the dot that's a little bit bigger. Ever since I saw you guys doing it, you guys are always using that same dot. I'm like, I'm using the dot that's bigger to make it more pronounced, so it's easier to notice on screen. It uses the same bits. It just yeah, I could actually type it on the screen. Actually, right? Yeah. Actually, I think I could actually type that one on the screen. Right? Where's that other dot? Let's see. Hold up. I think it's that one. I don't know. I'm not using the same thing, but I think it's. Wait, it's that same size. I thought I had it right. I thought it was the other dot. Well, anyways, I know I've been able to show it on screen. Wait. Where's that? There's supposed to be another dot available. Where's it? This one? It's probably not this one here, is it? Yeah, I know, Dave. It's the same size. Oh, whatever. When I type it on the YouTube side, I can I feel like I notice it anyway. It even looks different on screen, but whatever. I'm not using it on the YouTube side for the chat, so I'm using the apps built in. Chat window keyboard thing that interacts in with the YouTube stream side, and this is not StreamYard that I'm using. So, yeah, stuff like that. Everyone will just be like, why is everyone just writing dots? We're coding it, right? Right? Bunch of ones and zeros, right? We'll just write ones and zeros, right? I want binary code or whatever, right? It's like, I'll be perfectly honest. My binary code knowledge is a little rusty, guys. So please slow it down. Please slow it down, right? I don't understand all the ones and zeros that you guys are writing. Some of them I can understand. I swear that feels like that's like should be code for something. Or maybe that's just random. It'll just be a random thing. I need the code. I need one of those Enigma machines that decode all this hidden messages and all that stuff. That's what I need right now. Oh yeah. Yeah, see, I'm getting a little breeze right now. The sun is going behind this bigger cloud, so it is clouding. I wouldn't say necessarily clouding over, but there is more cloud out now than there's sunshine, and my solar lights aren't charging as fast because it's not getting direct sunlight, and there's no chance for solar ignition because, yeah, there's definitely no chance for solar ignition right now. There's definitely no chance for solar ignition right now, even if I wanted to. I mean, the solar lights will still passively charge a little bit. It's like trickling in. Like I said, there's some thicker clouds. I can see the darkness of the clouds, or lack of sunshine or light going through them. Yeah, that's probably a better way of saying it. It's not the clouds are getting darker. It's the lack of sunshine going through the clouds, which means that the clouds will look darker. Alright? The bottom of the clouds will look darker. They're not white and fluffy. It's nice. Man, it's so nice out here. I almost felt like setting up a tent. Almost. Probably not today, though. Although, I have been considering it. I've been considering it. I don't know, I keep putting it off. So I got to take time for it. Maybe I'll record it, share that. I've shown it before. A tent set up before. It's been a while since I've shown that tent. I've shown the tent before. Actually, I showed the tent last year. Around this time, more or less, a year ago, more or less. I've shown that tent, but okay, Dave. okay. Am I randomly hearing drops? Well, even if it did, it's not gonna accumulate. It's not there's not like big enough or gathering amounts of cloud. At best, it's spit. Because I can hear very, very small drops right now. I can't even see them. I can hear them though. They're hitting the surfaces that I have around here. I can't even see it though. It's like a very small ting on this shed that I have. It's a metal shed. That's how I can usually notice when I'm out here. If I start hearing it, then I'll be like, well, and obviously if I start seeing it on the ground and some, wetness on the ground, I'd be like, yeah, it's starting to rain, right? But I don't think it's gonna be like that today. I don't think I'm gonna get that kind of day today where I'm seeing sunshine and rain. Today it'll be more just sunshine and some cloudy periods, I guess. Mix of sun and cloud. Hey, I'll point it to the sky here. See? That's how it looks. Alright? Mix of sun and cloud. See? Some blue patches where the sun could pop in. But yeah, right now the sun's right there. As I pan around here on my screen here. Whew. I better stop doing that. I'm stretching and looking up and I'm turning. I'm starting to get dizzy. Lightheaded there. Maybe I should go sit back now. No, I'm good. Use some of this rainwater. Wet my forehead here. Wet my neck. Oh yeah. There's a breeze, so I'll get that evaporative cooling effect right now. It'll feel nice. Well, as soon as they spoke of that, I'm glad I just ended that because the sun just poked back out away from the sun. I mean, the sun just poked back out in the clouds, so it's in the shade again. But yeah, mix of sun and cloud today. I mean, now I could do solar ignition. The solar lights will gather up their full potential of solar energy again. I got some solar lights on the sun. I actually have to check on them. Like I said earlier in the stream, I'm charging up these AAA batteries here, so I just want to make sure are they actually receiving some solar energy. Oh yeah, they are. This one is. Let's see what my other one shows. Oh yeah. Where I cover the solar panel, it lights up. So the photoreceptor on the solar panel, right? Once you cover it up to mimic like darkness or whatever, it'll light up, right? That kind of instant on if it gets dark or at dusk, right? So I just cover up the solar panel, like, so it's charging. So I'll have to see with a multimeter how much voltage I actually have. Hopefully it's within the, well, because I checked it before I came out and did the stream. I was like, some of them were at like 0.8, 0.9 volts, so obviously low on the lower end of the spectrum, but hopefully I'll get it back into that, well, over 1 volt, 1.1, 1.2 volt range. But there's still some daylight hours still, so I'll be able to charge them more. Once they're in that higher 1.2 range, then they'll be good for a little bit again. I could use them with, a flashlight or a headlamp or, a remote or something like that if I deem it necessary. But they need to be charged, right? A battery's not very useful if it's not charged or have power in it, right? Wow, I can't believe I've been going for like 68 minutes, almost 69 minutes already. Time for guys, as I just enjoyed the day. One thing I've noticed more and more, at least around where I live here, more suburban type of area, right? I've been noticing more people with solar lights, those solar garden lights. I've been noticing it a lot more. A lot more. Like, one of my subscribers said, they're like, hey, CR, ever since you mentioned the solar lights, I went and got some. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. The solar garden lights, they can be quite useful for more landscape type of appeal, but they also can add to emergency preparedness too, right? Among some other things. Or in my case, I'm using one to charge up a AAA battery to use in a flashlight or a headlamp later. So I actually have power in them, right? Independent from the grid, right? I just gotta wait. Obviously, you need the hardware in the first place and stuff, and the battery, but, everything else pretty much is kind of free afterwards, I guess, right? Pays for itself in time, right? Kind of deal, right? Within time. Especially if you use it long enough, right? It'll pay back that initial investment, I guess, right? So yeah. What's up, SD? How's it going, Scott? Virtual fist bump to you. How's it going, Scott? I haven't seen you around in a while. Hopefully you're doing well. Haven't seen you on some of the other streams, but it's nice. I appreciate you dropping by my stream today, this afternoon. Hopefully you're doing well. I'm just chilling in the shade here. I got a mix of sun and cloud here. In and out of the shade, back in the... Wow. Once the clouds cover the sun, then I go back out and take a look. Checking out stuff. Alright. This is kind of my relaxing time for a little bit. I'll probably do some other things later. Oh, so once it cools back down again. Stuff like that. I'm always trying to do things in the morning and the evening now. Stuff like that. Avoid midday sun whenever possible. You know, if I have to do stuff midday, I have to, right? It's just the way it is, right? But if I don't have to, then I'll wait. Right? Especially if it, I mean, it's not quote unquote hot, but especially if it was hot, right? As I chill with my plants here, I've shown, and some of them I've shown. See? Not that I know of. Not that I know of, SD. Yeah, just some other plants I have growing here. It's nice. You know, one good thing about actually having really tall plants is they provide pretty good shade. Provide very good shade. Just like sunflowers, especially the mammoth variety. Especially since they can have very large leaves. Like, you know, leaves that are big, like, bigger than your hand, bigger than your face, you know, like, have a span, you know, and they're tall enough too, right? Where you can almost stand beside them and get shade, and you feel that kind of coolness, right? Not just because they're shade, they're giving you shade, but they're also through transpiration, right? Similar to how we sweat, releasing water vapor. So, because virtually all plants do transpiration. You just can't notice it, but if you put like a bag around a leaf or whatever, you'd see moisture coming out in time, right? And drops gathering on the inside of the bag for a transpiration bag and stuff like that. So you can see how much water really the plant really needs if it's, you know, transpiration out that much water in just one leaf. Well, multiply that by how many leaves there is, surface area, and you'll see some more. I got some other things growing here. So I just check on a few things here. It's looking nice. Got some moisture in the soil right now, so we'll give it a little bit water later. Since I have this extra rainwater here, might as well put it to good use. I mean, this is the reason why I have this rainwater, right? And put it to good use later. You know, like even right now, I could just cool off my hand, cool off my wrist, cool off my forehead with it right now. So if it's really, really hot, I'd be like, yeah, I could cool off right away, right? You know, it's not quote-unquote potable water, or potable water, but, you know, I could just put it on my skin, you know, and stuff like that, cool off. There's a slight breeze outside, nice. So it feels nice, I see. Is that channel True North Bushcrafter or something like that? I'm not subscribed to the channel. I do know of the channel though. I know some of my friends around here who live further away than other people I know. I mentioned them. I'm trying to remember. He's an older gentleman, but yeah. As I have some other things growing here. Hey, you know what? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice, SD. Very nice. I mean, full would be better, but at least it's not empty, right? So. When you have water to do stuff, water for the plants and all that stuff, you're still able to do stuff. You know? Still able to do stuff. Water equals life, right? When you have water, there's still hope, you know? Some sort of power outage or something like that. You know, you got water, you're still good. You're still good. You still, you know? It'd be more difficult, extremely challenging, right? Not to have water in a situation like that, especially in extreme heat or whatever, or some sort of power outage or extended period without services like that. I don't even have to tell you what that is. That was a sneak peek. I haven't even shown anyone else. Literally. That was a sneak peek. Randomly right there. Yeah, but safe travels, SD. You know, stuff like that. As I check up on a few things there. I might have to do some pruning. Yeah, I think I'll have to do some pruning relatively shortly. I won't do it right now. I'll wait till later. After the sun goes down a little bit more, or cools down a little bit. So. Where am I at? I think I will go. Where am I at for the time? What time is it? Oh wow. Sorry, bottom of the hour. I'll probably go for another 13 minutes or so. I'll go to the 90-minute mark for the stream. That seems like a good window of opportunity to slide out and do some other things here. I always appreciate you guys dropping by, keeping me company. You know, and stuff like that. I always appreciate that. Let's see, where am I? Yeah. Oh, what? Really, SD? Let me go read that. Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't realize you had that much more of a capacity, upper capacity or a maximum capacity. It's nice. I was mentioning something earlier to someone, right? No matter how much water you have, regardless if it's a bucket, a gallon, liter, 2 gallons, 3 gallons, 25 gallons, 30 gallons, 55-gallon drum, big cistern, 7,000, 5,000 gallons or whatever, right? Even if you have a lake or a pond, right? There's an upper capacity for storage for water, right? All right. There's an upper capacity, right? So I'm always making sure that, you know, yeah, I use the water, but try to gather the water if it does, you know, make an appearance again, all right? If I'm able to resupply, for lack of a better word, or get back into that higher reach closer back to that max capacity, especially if Mother Nature offers it, you know, like try to, right? Because I could store the water for a little bit of time, use it for things, you know, or whatever, right? Use it to clean or whatever, right? That's like gray water, or for like watering plants and stuff like that, right? Kind of hard to water plants and do anything like that if you don't actually have it, right? Well, when you do have it, right, life's kind of keeps going, I guess, right? I wouldn't say necessarily easy, but life can keep going because you can keep doing something with it. Yeah, yeah, that's cool. That's cool, Scott. That's cool. Hopefully soon we can welcome you to 1K Club. There's something in my coffee, but just the debris. I don't know how it got in there. That's why you heard me go. Wow. Where are you at? 455-gallon barrels. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's like two, well, 200. That's pretty high. No, that's actually 420. But yeah. So yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll buy you some time. Give some liquid water, liquid elixir of life to, well, the plants and animals that require it. Right, and of course, that could be used for non-potable water and emergency water and such, right? So multiple benefits. But when you have it, right, you're able to do a lot with it. It's kind of hard to do stuff without water, and there's no real replacement for it, right? It's kind of one of a kind kind of deal, right? When you have it, you have it. When you don't, you don't. I mean, yeah, you can have too much, look what happened down in Texas. That was a little big torrent. Yeah, that's a little much, right? But, in prayers to the people down there, right? And like I said earlier, I'll say this again since I'm ending the stream eventually soon, right? Has anyone heard from Second Star Survival? I've not heard. I know he's within range of this area. Maybe not affected directly, but I also haven't seen him. I didn't see him on Saturday. I haven't seen him the last couple of weeks, and he hasn't posted. So, if you guys hear from him, then that's good. I'm just saying. So, just touching base on that real quick. I just want to make sure that was very, very obvious in the stream. I said it in the beginning. I haven't said it since, but I wanted to say it here. Since some of you may have seen him around. I don't know. Because I haven't seen him around lately, and honestly, ever since what happened down south, Maybe he wasn't directly affected, but he might have known some of these people, right? Might have been friends or family from, so. Don't know for sure, but, So, just reaching out, right? Because I care enough. Because I saw some of those videos, I was just like, people talking about it, right? So I feel for some of those people, right? Very serious situation down south for them right now, right? And that happened on a Friday for them, right? So, overnight too. So, quite serious, right? You use the water yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, right. Maybe I'll go a little bit longer on the stream, but yeah, I mean, I've been looking up on some of this stuff already a little bit more in terms of what I can do here to prepare to be proactive as much as I can for, resources, the available funds for it and stuff, right? Do what I can, right? At least try, right? To be proactive about it, right? Maybe buy a little bit more time, buy another 5 minutes, buy another 20 minutes, buy another hour, another day or whatever, right? That's the idea, right? And buffer it out if it appears. I've been fortunate that I haven't had anything more longer term, where it's actually not just hours, right? Because I'm pretty sure I can handle hours, but it's more like the days or weeks that some people have experienced at times, right? I mean, and, camping without, refrigeration is one thing, but that's totally different. That's a planned situation, right? And I can go somewhere to go get ice. I can go somewhere to resupply, right? It's totally different when the area is totally affected. And resupply of some sort is very challenging or non-existing because, everyone wants that kind of resource. Maybe it's water, for example, power, right? Or fuel, right? When everyone wants that resource in the same area, the demand is dramatically increased, but the supply is the same or much, much less, right? Yeah. Well, because I knew it was within range, not directly affected by or county or whatever, but within range. So, because I also haven't heard from him either for a while, for the last couple of weeks actually. He hasn't dropped by on some of the streams, and he hasn't streamed for a while. And there's no post from him. So, hopefully he's probably just busy doing work. Hopefully it would just be like that, all right. But, it is what it is at times, right? Because I don't actually have another way of contacting him. So I can leave messages or whatever, comments or whatever, but say something. But, at the end of the day, you just got to reach out to someone else. In the kind of preparedness community or whatever, right? Maybe he'll just drop by this Saturday for a stream or whatever, and I'll be like, oh yeah, all right. So, stay optimistic here. But realistically, like I said, I gotta still prepare here for what I may experience here. Which is funny because there was this one time where I anticipated it, and it did actually come true. It did actually come to fruition. Back in 2021, actually. Which is funny because that's actually the same year that the Texas freeze happened, the ice storm happened in Texas and within that area. Which is that same year within July, late June, early July, where we had the heat wave here in Canada and also in the US too, right? Mostly out west there, right? It affected like 4 provinces, 4 time zones, right? Major heat dome, right? I wouldn't be surprised I see some sort of intermittent or a power outage. I'm like, yep, it did happen. Thank goodness it was just a couple hours. It was in the evening, like, let's say around 8, 9 o'clock, right? Power came back within a few hours, but, I anticipated that. Because I'm like, oh, it's hot, right? And at that time, it was like, probably like in the mid-90s, 34, 35 Celsius, right? I mean, yeah. Everyone's gonna be using fans, AC, all that stuff, right? I mean, yep, it didn't happen, right? I'm not saying it was directly caused by it, but, that's a good indication that it might happen, right? Especially, and it did happen in the evening. I was actually outside. I didn't even notice until I checked. I was just like, at that time, I was actually using solar lights inside for a little bit of time. I didn't have to, grab a flashlight or some of these other preparedness items like a lights out kit or a blackout kit, which I've shown on the channel before. I didn't have to dip into that yet, all right? Because I had options already, right? The solar lights for me are the first line for me, right? That's why I'm charging the lights. That's why I'm charging AA and AAA batteries right now, right? So I can use them later on if absolutely necessary, or even day to day if I really wanted to, right? So they're ready to go, right? So something happens, whatever, I can use them, right? Or I want to save on power or whatever because I don't want to, save on electricity, I can use the solar lights too, right? Which I've been doing. Yeah, I've been hearing something like that. Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna mention that or highlight that, but yeah, I read that, Scott. Yeah, but you know, not much you can do if that's happening either, right? So can only I don't like to use that's the word, but you can only do what you can, right? So do what you can. Improve your own situation, your own area, your own home as much as you can. You know, make it more resilient. Show your resolve and all that stuff, right? You know, I can't control. See, I didn't even want to use that CR word, but I can't do anything about that. But you know, I can. You know, oh hey, the sun's out. I'm gonna charge some solar lights. And I can do, which I'm doing right now, and it is receiving some energy again. I mean, I am able to recharge them because originally the LED light weren't turning on when I first put them in, but now, well, I just checked them like 20 minutes ago. I can see the LED light turning on. I'm like, yeah, they're receiving solar energy, and which means I can use, you know, quote unquote, what's the word I'm looking for? I just had it on the tip, reallocate solar energy later at night, right? You know, and basically, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. At this rate, I might as well just go to the top of the hour. I might as well just go to the top. For sure, no more longer than the top of the hour. I gotta remember it. I've been like, I said I was gonna go earlier, but Scott's here, and I'm having some fun talking about it. Share a few things too. I've shown some of these solar lights. I have been considering on getting another set of them. I've actually enjoyed them that much, right? And there are 4-pack of them. It came in a 4-pack. I was been reconsidering it. You know, maybe I'll get another 4-pack of them and put 2 back or something like that. Nice fresh ones. You know, after I make sure they're good and working, right? Just case, because I feel like, you know, it'd be like I said, the solar lights are my lighting source for first line of defense for the lighting source, you know. Because see, one of the things is like, if I already let's just say, you know, these garden solar lights, right? You got a bunch outside, whatever, right? You know, it's fine, right? But if I have one inside, right? And let's just say I got an overhead light to simulate sunlight or whatever, so it's not going to turn on because the sensor on it, the light sensor won't turn on because there's a light source hitting the sensor, right? But if there's some sort of power outage or loss of power, a light like that would instantly turn on for me, right? So, because it has a light sensor on it, a photo sensor on it that, you know, indicates if there's sunshine, for example, right? Or enough light to trigger it to start charging, I guess, right? If it's dark, or you put the solar panel to your shirt or whatever and block the solar panel, yeah, it's gonna turn on because you're blocking the sensor. It's triggering to be like, turn on the light, right? Versus, oh, there's light, okay, I'm gonna turn off the light and start charging up the battery, kind of deal, right? So there's one thing I've been considering more and more, because of all the things, I mean, I haven't had major issues with power, but, you know, somehow the solar lights seem to be one of those things for me at times. Well, you know, other light sources like a headlamp or a flashlight or an EDC light or whatever, right? That kind of thing, it's just like, yeah, it literally is, you know, secure it first and then everything else so you can actually see what you're doing and stuff like that, right? Because sometimes, unfortunately, right, not everyone has a washroom with a window. And it could be daytime, right? I had that happen, all right? Back in 2021, you know, I was using a solar light to take a very quick cooling shower, like literally like 2 minutes, right? It wasn't really a shower to clean with, so to speak. It was a cooling shower, right? That's why. Because I'm like, because at the time I didn't know how long. I mean, I found out later it wasn't gonna be that long, but you know, at the time, right? Until I started to get more information, right? It's just like, so yeah, I actually had a solar light in the shower. Didn't have to dip into, like I said, into these air light sources like a headlamp or a flashlight yet. I could have, yeah. You know, that option's available on the table, but I'm like, no, I'll use solar energy first. Especially since I it was sunny during the day, right? So, just like right now, you know, I can show you guys the ground right now. It is sunny. Look at these shadows, right? It's sunny outside right now, right? It's sunny outside right now, so I can use solar energy right now to get some of this stuff going. So, and that's what I'm doing. All right, I have solar lights charging. That's why, like I said earlier, you know, I've been seeing more solar lights, garden lights around within this area that I'm currently in. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. I like that, right? Because not only does it add to the landscape, you can see it at night, you know, and all that stuff, but in an emergency, some sort of power outage, right? Those are at night. If it just randomly happened at night, those things you would notice them, right? Providing it's not right? But, you know, generally speaking, you would notice them. They would still light the way, even without the main sources of light within a neighborhood or area, right? Because at least there's two things. Like, if there was a power outage, right, I would know that these people that have these solar lights, right, even if they didn't have a flashlight, even if they didn't have a battery bank, even if they didn't have a phone with a light function, right, I'd be like, I know these people would probably dip into that right away. Common sense, right, you know? There's a power outage or whatever, you can't see inside, but you know you have garden lights outside. Providing you can get out there safely and see them, you can bring them inside. You know, you can have a light source right away. And it's probably been charging, right? Especially on a day like this, where there's sunshine all day, or most of the day, right? Those are people that are, like, not gonna randomly have to light candles unnecessarily, avoiding that kind of, you know, fire hazard, right? You know, and stuff like that. Especially some of these people that I know, right? Hold on one sec. But yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to slide in a couple of minutes. I gotta take care of it, but so and I cut that story short. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video or stream about it again. I've been thinking about it a little bit more, especially considering what's been going down at times, right? You know, Texas this month, last month, what? There was that little mini heat dome out east, right? Dave came in saying it was like plus 40, right? You know, it can start affecting things, the grid and stuff like that, right? So, I see, SD. So I appreciate everyone dropping by on this live stream. And remember, go do something awesome out there, proactively. Creative too, if you want, right? And create something better starting today. Because things are changing out there. And I'll put this up on the screen. Things are changing out there, you know? It's not always bright and sunny outside. You know, sometimes the darkness comes back, but, you know, we can also light the way too in advance and proactively do something in advance too as much as possible, you know, and trying to practice those skills and pick up some knowledge out there, gain some more experience, like gardening, like what Howie does, like some other people do, right? And try it out. You might find an interest in it, right? It might sprout your interest. And I'm always rooting for you all. And until the next time, I'll see you on the next time. Take care, everyone. And I appreciate everyone dropping by. See you guys.